Today I'm talking about CRAAP, which is a tool for analysis where you look at clusters of issues and ask questions about them to help you evaluate sources and whether those are suitable and reliable sources for and pertinent sources for an academic investigation or research essay. In this first segment of the lecture today, micro lecture, I'm going to talk a little bit about the research process in general and where CRAAP evaluations or analyses fit into that. But I want to say right off the bat that for the purposes of learning how to evaluate sources, finding a bad source, finding a source to the extent that CRAAP is also a test, a source that fails the CRAAP test and turns out to be crappy for the purposes of academic research, that's a good thing. And in my assignments, I want you to report on those sources that didn't pan out as well, because you'll learn as much or maybe even more from a source like that. Okay, the research process in general. So, when you're working on an academic essay, many people compare it to entering a room where a conversation has been going on for some time about a subject of interest to people. So you've got a broad overall topic, and for today's topic and examples, I'm going to be talking about the idea that beings live under Mount Shasta. I This is a picture I took from one of my morning walks. It's at the edge of our property. I took this. I'm blessed with a beautiful view of Mount Shasta, and I like walking the dog and looking at the mountain. But I hadn't lived out here long in the very northernmost part of California before I found out that there are people who believe there are beings named Lemurians under Mount Shasta. So that's a topic. That is a topic. Um, Lemurians. What's the deal with the Lemurians under Mount Shasta? And that's all I really kind of need to know to get started. Is just something I'm curious about. Um, and then in the course of researching this that I'm going to take you through, we're going to look a little bit about what's been said and by whom and why they would say it. And in research, as you get up to speed, so part of research is getting up to speed and understanding the context of where the conversation has evolved to in terms of what is interesting and what is important, and whether there have been any significant breakthroughs in discussing a topic. And then eventually you arrive at what remains to be said, what needs to be said. And right at the intersection of those two things, what has been said and what needs to be said, is what John Gage, who used to teach composition before he retired up at the University of Oregon, called a question at issue. And a question at issue is informed by past research. So, this conversation that has been ongoing about a topic, and it's research. It's a structured kind of conversation with certain kinds of accountability, which I'll discuss a little bit further when I talk about the CRAAP test itself. But it's conversation informed by past research, and where at the moment there are good faith disagreements about how best to answer the question at issue. And you can look at the question at issue, and you can create your own research or take your own stance on how best to proceed from there. So, a research essay is not like a book report where you're simply bringing everyone else up to speed on what has been done in the past, but it's also not like completely original work where you don't pay any attention to past research. No, it is a response to a current issue where you demonstrate your awareness of how the conversation got to there.